Satanic Ritual Abuse, and the Armor of God. A spiritual defense against darkness. Satanic Ritual Abuse, SRA, is a deeply disturbing phenomenon involving psychological, emotional, and spiritual manipulation through ritualistic practices, often rooted in occult ideologies. Survivors of SRA frequently report experiences of coercion, trauma, and spiritual violation. While mainstream discourse sometimes dismisses these accounts, many Christian ministries and survivors affirm the reality of such abuse and advocate for healing restoration. In the face of such darkness, the biblical concept of the armor of God, outlined in Ephesians 6 verses 10 to 18, offers a framework for spiritual protection, resilience, and empowerment, exploring the nature of SRA and how the armor of God serves as a divine safeguard against spiritual assault. SRA involves ritualistic abuse, often tied to occult or satanic belief systems. It may include psychological conditioning, symbolic acts, and spiritual manipulation. Survivors often describe systematic efforts to break their will, distort their identity, and sever their connection to divine truth. Common tactics: deception, twisting truth to confuse and isolate victims. Fear and intimidation, using symbols, threats, and rituals to instill terror. Spiritual inversion, mocking sacred rites, reversing Christian symbols, and invoking demonic forces. Isolation, cutting victims off from community, faith, and support systems. Impact on survivors: long-term trauma, dissociation, and spiritual confusion. Difficulty trusting religious institutions or reclaiming personal faith. A deep need for safe, spiritually grounded healing environments. The armor of God. Divine defense in spiritual warfare. The Apostle Paul writes in Ephesians 6 verse 12, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world." This passage affirms that spiritual warfare is real, and believers must be equipped to stand firm. The armor of God is not physical. It is a set of spiritual tools rooted in divine truth. One belt of truth counters deception and distortion, grounds survivors in the reality of God's love and identity. 2. Breastplate of righteousness protects the heart from shame and accusation, affirms the believer's worth and divine covering. 3. Shoes of the gospel of peace restores stability and direction, offers peace in place of chaos and fear. 4. Shield of faith deflects spiritual attacks and fiery darts of doubt, builds trust in divine protection and purpose. 5. Helmet of salvation guards the mind against confusion and despair, reclaims the survivor's identity as redeemed and beloved. Sword of the Spirit, Word of God, acts as both defense and offense, cuts through lies and empowers with divine truth. Healing and empowerment through spiritual armor. For survivors of SRA, healing is not only psychological, it is deeply spiritual. The armor of God offers protection, a spiritual boundary against further manipulation, restoration, rebuilding identity through divine truth, empowerment, reclaiming voice, agency, and spiritual authority. Community, connecting with faith-based support systems that honor and protect survivors. Ministries like Restoration Gateway and writings by Christian leaders such as Anthony Delgado emphasize that spiritual warfare is not metaphorical. It is a lived reality for many. Survivors are not forsaken. They are warriors being restored. Satanic ritual abuse is a grievous violation of the human spirit, but it is not beyond redemption. Through the armor of God, survivors can find protection, healing, and empowerment. The battle is real, but so is the victory promised to those who stand firm in faith. As Isaiah 62 verse 3 declares, "You shall be a crown of glory in the hand of the Lord, and a royal diadem in the hand of your God." Let this be a call to awareness, compassion, and spiritual vigilance for survivors, for ministers, and for all who walk the path of light through the shadows.